What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Snowstorm Studios. It's Billy here, and I just wanted to make a little quick opening before we get into this video. So this is a longer video, as you guys can see, and what happened was Alcast actually put on his website a bunch of really cool information he got from when he went to ZeniMax and got to try out Summerset, the new chapter coming to Elder Scrolls Online. So this video is me and Ongoing, one of the members of Snowstorm, just kind of reacting to what's going on his website. And I just wanted to give him a shout out before you watch this video. So, guys, Alcast is one of the biggest creators right now in Elder Scrolls Online, content creators. And he has a phenomenal website that I use all the time for build information. And he has an extremely interesting and very complex YouTube channel where he talks about a lot of the very minute stuff of Elder Scrolls. And it's really, really awesome. And I just felt like I had to make a little announcement before I sit on his website and react to everything he said. But you guys should definitely go check him out and show him some support. I know my channel is not even half as big as his, but if you guys watch this on my channel, be sure to go check out his website for build information, his YouTube channel for content, and make sure you guys just check in the links down below in the description. I put all of his links down there. You guys really should go check out Alcast. And then the other thing I wanted to say was, excuse me, he didn't get a list. He did this all by memory. So a lot of this stuff may seem a little off. And if it is off, it might be on his end. But don't hate on my video or his videos about that, because he just doesn't remember some of the stuff. There'll be points where I say unknown skill line and he just couldn't remember. And then the last little thing actually too is all this is subject to change, guys. This is before patch notes. So this is just stuff ZeniMax was trying that they're allowed to tell us. So we're kind of getting a look into ZeniMax's mind. So it's not really concrete. So everything we see here is subject to change. But with that, here's the video, guys. Please enjoy and please comment down below, and I'll catch you on the next stream. Peace out. The NDA got lifted, and Alcast, shout out to him, put all the new stuff that he got to learn from ZeniMax on his website. So me and Ongoing, who is someone who tanks a lot with me, are going to go through it, talk about some of the stuff, and you guys can see our initial reactions. So let's get into it. So the first thing we have, two-handed weapons. So guys, what's going to happen now is two-handed weapons are now going to count as two set pieces. So staffs, staves, and two-handed swords are now worth 2 slots. And what this is going to do, and me and Ongoing were talking about it, and I'll let him say something in a second, I think it's going to kind of put the bridge between not having endgame stuff and having it. So, you know, before you had the Asylum staff, the VMA staff, and the 3-piece Moon Dancer, you'd wear 2 5-pieces. Now you're going to be able to wear 2 5-pieces with a monster set, because usually you had to give that up because you were using a two-handed weapon. So basically, stand builds that use dual wield kind of lost a little bit of their edge because everyone now gets that edge. But, I mean, you're going to be able to now wear Zaan's 5-piece, Juliano's 5-piece Netch's Touch. And, like, that's something we've never been able to do. So it'll be interesting to see how hard that can hit. I remember when I was DPS testing, Ongoing would always tell me, put that monster set back on. It's so much better than people say it is. So
yeah, the increased damage is like an extra dot. Yeah.
Guys, let me know what you think in comments. That's something interesting. What else were you gonna say though? I'm sorry.
I honestly, though, with the increased drilling crafting as well, added to the game with the two-handed weapons being slotted for two set pieces is going to be really helpful for grinding and stuff like that. Just because I can wear around like Studioz and Magnus while I'm grinding like a magic character and have almost unlimited sustain.
Yeah. Okay. So now set changes. All that's happening, guys, is Night Mother's Gaze and Sunderflame 5-piece are getting changed. They now do Major Fracture instead of individual penetration bonuses, which means they don't stack, which means they're not as good anymore. So no one's going to be wearing those in trials. It used to be the stand builds would wear, one would wear Night Mother's Gaze, one would wear Sunderflame, and you get 2 different penetrations that would stack on each other. Not going to happen anymore. I don't think there's anything else to say. I hope it isn't guaranteed, by the way, guys. This is just what Alcast, Gil, Tech and Junk, all the big guys learned when they went to ZeniMax and tested it out. And luckily they can tell us, and then I can tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Light and heavy attacks. Light and heavy attacks now scale differently. They now scale about the same with Magicka, Stamina, as well as spell damage, weapon damage. Therefore, weaving will be even more important now, as the overall damage of both light and heavy attacks got increased by a lot. So now they don't just scale off max Magicka, they're going to scale off our damage. So the higher spell damage we have, the more the light attack is going to hit. So get your damage up and light attacks will hit harder. Now we got jewelry crafting, guys. It looks like all the traits have been released. Again, guys, all of this is due to change, so this is not set in stone, but it's something I just wanted you guys to get my reaction to. Robust, healthy, arcane. Those are the 3 original ones you can get, but now we're going to have bloodthirsty, as we talked about before, increased damage by 20% when an enemy is in execute. Harmony, which is going to increase the potential damage, healing, recovery, and damage shield granted by synergies by 35%. I can see tanks utilizing this one, guys. When you get a shard thrown at you, that's going to be an insane increase from that shard. And I can see tanks really loving that. I'm going as a tank, so he can attest or argue with me. But
it's going to be either between Harmony or one of the next ones that are coming up. What is it? How do you pronounce it? Triune?
Yeah, Triune, I think it is. Or...
All right. Say you have a Strife for funnel health, right? That magic right now costs 1891, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, that would be reduced to hold on, let me go back. That'd be reduced by, what is the percentage right here? 60%.
Yeah. So okay. So so we're gonna get a reduced cost.
Reduce the cost of whatever the enchantment, the initial number is, and then increase that by 60%, and that's a huge bonus.
So the next one we have, guys, is Triune, which Ongoing was talking about it being really good for tanking. Obviously, I mean, it's pretty basic. It's going to increase your max health, magicka, and standby 435, which tanks kind of utilize everything. So I can definitely see that being on tanks jewelry. And then we have Protective, which is going to add 1844 physical resistance. This could be really useful for PvP, guys. Definitely something I'd see more in PvP than PvE off first glance. But again, if you guys disagree, let me know in the comments. And then Swift. Oh, did you want to add anything to Protective?
Protective, I don't see it being used very much unless, you know, like a tank is running low resistances for some reason, like more spell than physical, and you just want to get both of the cap. That's the only reason I see it as.
I could see like maybe PvP tanks. Then we have Swift, which is going to increase movement speed by 10%. I don't really know if anyone's going to use that one. That one's not amazing. Just looking at it. Yeah, I guess, again, maybe it's a PvP thing. I don't really see it in PvE. It'd be interesting, like, if you could use it for speed runs or something. If, like, you're really struggling to get that speed run, maybe you need that 10% increase. But enough about the jewelry, guys. Those are the traits right now. Going to change. Let's keep going here. We got class balance changes for Summerset, guys. I'm not extremely well-versed in every class, so I'll just kind of read them, and then Ongoing we'll just give a thought, and then what I know I'll say something about. So, with... this is also, guys, as good as Alcast can remember, so just keep that in mind. This is not 100% guaranteed. But so Dragon Knight, we're having Combustion passive. Every time you apply Burning Poison, you gain 500 Magic Art Stamina. That has a 5-second cooldown, so you get some resources back. I'm kind of just going to go through it Ongoing, and then after I go through all of them, if something you want to talk about.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we're going to have Categorize, which the radius got upgraded by 28 meters. Okay, so this is a buff, not a debuff. Reflective Plate. When you activate this, it now also removes snares from you. That's really interesting. Stone Giant. Now Giant grants minor ward, so now you get some more protection. It's like all buffs to the Dragon Knight. Fragment Shield. This now applies Major Mending for 4 to 5 seconds. Another buff. And then Cinder Storm. Now this heals instead of dealing damage. Snares still apply to enemies. So now this heals instead of dealing damage. So I guess that could be seen as a debuff or a buff. Off top, to me, this looks just like a lot of love to the Dragon Knight. This looks like a lot of stuff the Dragon Knight is going to be able to utilize and use well. All right, I'm going to move down to the Sork. I'm going to kind of take lead on this one, guys, as I just know a lot about the Sork. But so now Conjure Ward also gives us 10% increased max shields. So now this also gives a 10% increase. So Conjure Ward becomes Hardened Ward, so we get an increase in shields. Hardened Ward, instead of a 30% increase max shield, now this gives a 10%. Value will be the same as it ends. The value will be the same in the end as before. Yeah, because see how we're getting the 10% increase here? So we're losing 10 here, so Hardened Ward does become extremely OP. So now we just get 20% from the morph, but we still get the 10% from the base one. Bound Armaments will no longer be a toggle, guys. That means we only have to put it on one slot. Hallelujah. That's amazing, guys. Sork DPS is going to go up a decent amount now because we're going to be able to put another move on our back or front bar. Preferably our front bar where we're running Inner Light if you're not running it on both bars. But now we can actually put Inner Light on both bars and have bound arguments on it all the time, and have 3 moves, and Power Surge if we want. So then Bound Aegis, this will no longer be a toggle. When this is activated, your block mitigation by you increase your block mitigation by 20% for 3 seconds. Basically, I think they're trying to make the Sork tank a little more viable. I think that's exactly what that's for. Still gives the 8% resistance buff and 11% increase to damage now instead of just heavy attacks. Oh, so wait. 11% light attack damage now instead heavy attack?
Yeah, so they're trying to make it more of a light attack weave.
Awesome. I mean, great. So now Rune Cage, guys, instead of a 2.5 second stun, it now stuns for 5 seconds. I think that's used more in PvP than PvE. Daedric Mines, reduce the cost by about 1,000 magicka. That's actually really interesting. Daedric Mines really sucks up your pool. So that'll be interesting. I bet we'll see that used more and more now. Because it does a good amount of damage, and I see a lot of builds run it, actually.
It's still a PvP skill, though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then Lightning Flood. This now deals 15% more damage. So is that the other morph besides Liquid Lightning? Was that?
Yeah.
So they're trying to get us to use the other one, but as Ongoing said to me before, you're going to be using up a lot more magicka because you have to reset it more often.
Every 6 seconds. So
yeah, instead of 12 or 8 or 9 or whatever it is. Now let's go. So basically, guys, the Sork got all buffs. I don't see anything here that really hurts the Sork. Pet Sork, Mad Sork, Stamp Sork, they're all good. They're all still good. Nightblade. Again, this I'll cater this more to Ongoing than me, guys, as I don't really know a lot about the Nightblade. But it looks like we have Bolstering Darkness. Now applies major protection to people who stand in the circle of effect. Maybe Nightblade healers for another 8 seconds after leaving the circle, or Nightblade tank.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Circle of protection does the same thing.
Yeah, true.
Hopefully cost less. Hopefully this costs less, so maybe they can be more viable.
That'd be interesting. Then we have Dark Cloak. This morph was completely changed. This now heals for 33% of your max health. Wow. So this, yes. So Dark Cloak now heals for 33% of your max health. That's a major thing for Nightblades because they've never had a heal besides Vigor. So now this is going to be a heal for them. Then Strife got increased the cost to match Force Pulse cost. So now they're saying, okay, Magicka Nightblade, we know how you like your little spammable that isn't Force Pulse. Well, now it costs as much. So they're kind of bringing the Mag Blade back down to the Mag Sork and the Magicka Templars level of what they need to use for a spammable. Or the Magicka DK. All the other Magicka DPS builds couldn't compare because of Strife, so it's interesting that they're saying, okay, we see Strife is really good, let's fix that. Dark Shade. Dark Shades is now Dark Shade, and the Shade now applies minor maim to all targets in the radius around the Shade via spinning an AoE cleave.
So is it like the... I'm thinking it's like the... What is it? Not the Chain Spinners. Wait, is the Chain Spinners from Red Dragonstar?
Yeah, sort of. I could see it being like that.
Yeah, kind of like that, but a little bit more annoying. Another PvP skill.
All right, let's keep moving here. It's funny, guys. I wanted this video to be shorter, but like as we're going through this, there's just so much interesting stuff. So, bolstering. So now we're on the Templar. My bad, Templar. Puncturing sweeps and maybe also damage increase for jabs. Can't recall. So this is, guys, is from Alcast's memory. So some things, like I said, maybe a little off. Puncturing sweeps. Increase the damage done and healing received by 5%. That's awesome. They keep fixing jabs or puncturing sweeps. They keep fixing it. So that's nice. Solar Disturbance. Snare effect will go for 4 seconds after leaving the AoE. Okay. That's a little that's different. Dark Flare. Debuffs from this ability now apply even if the enemy dodges the attack. Oh, so even if you use it and it doesn't hit the enemy, you still get that debuff?
Yeah, it's the reduce the healing offer. Those called in this game.
So then Honor the Dead. Magicka returned from this skill is now complete after 4 seconds instead of 6. So guys, it seems just like a lot of buffs to everyone here. Healing Ritual. This is now an instant cast. Cost will increase tremendously. Oh boy, so Healing Ritual is now an instant cast, and it costs a lot more. That's sort of a debuff to the heals. Enduring Raise passive. This now increases the time. This now increases the time of Sunfire, Eclipse, and Nova abilities by 2 seconds instead of 30%. Okay, so it got an increased time, but it lost 30%. That's interesting. Now, I'm going to keep moving here quick, guys. We got the Warden. Shimmering Shield increased the cost of this skill. Oh, great. Arctic Wind increased the initial heal by 20%. Okay, so now Warden healers may be a little more accessible. They're already good. Bursting Vines instantly generates 10 ultimate when you cast on an ally below 60%.
That's good for PvP, 100%.
Yeah. Deep Fissure now grants major breach, but no longer stuns the target. Oh, they lost a stun. Stuns are.
That's actually not that bad.
Well, yeah, the major breach is nice.
Just because most of them are going to be running dizzying swing, like when they combo, they hit them. Well, first they catch Deep Fissure because it's like a 3-second cast time or whatever. Like you pop it real quick and then 3 seconds till it pops. Then they'll combo with the dizzying swing. As soon as they get knocked in the air, they get hit by that, and then it's just like almost game over from there.
Fighters Guild Silver Leash. This now pulls targets to you like Chains does. Still costs stamina. I think that's going to be, guys, so other tanks besides Dragon Knights actually have that pull-in move. So I think what ZeniMax is trying to say is, all right, you want to be a Warden tank, you want to be a Sork tank, you want to be a Templar Nightblade tank? All right, well, now you have a move like Chains from the Dragon Knight skill. So I think that's just to give other classes tanking abilities. Then we have the Weapon skill line, Deadly Cloak, damage reduced by 40%. So now, guys, we're going to go into the last part of this video, and that's going to be the Sigic Order skill line with Summerset Isles. Now, I said this is not the full list. I can only remember some of the abilities and passives. So let's just look at what we got. So we got Undo. When activated, you can regain resources that you had 4 seconds ago. One of the morph also makes it possible to activate this while you are stunned. That's cool. I can see that being more useful in PvE or PvP than PvE, but that's just me. That's a very interesting skill, though. Then we have Meditate. Excuse me. Once cast, the player enters a meditative state, restoring health, magic, and stamina every second. One morph grants you more resources per second, while the other gives you major protection during the channel. This skill can be bashed, but is not otherwise interrupted by incoming damage, although you are locked in a place while channeling and cannot move. So it meditates, sort of like stand still, get your shit going, and then you can, no one can really hit you unless they bash you. So I guess that one would be better for PvE, where the bashes aren't as likely to happen. But in PvP, one guy's just going to come over and put his shield right up in your chin and be like, no. Time Stop. This skill involves the player selecting an 8-meter radius area, and players in the area immediately begin to slow down. After 1.5 seconds, any target within the radius of the skill are frozen in time for an additional 3 seconds. That's going to be so good in PvP. That one will be fun to use. If you manage to get out of the area before the 1.5 seconds cast completes, you'll be safe. But otherwise, it's a hard stun. Very similar to the stun from the Warden Sleet Storm ultimate. It drops, block, and roots you. Wow. Again, I think...
Cleanse it, though?
I don't think so. I think you're... No, because everyone in there is stuck.
No, yeah, but can someone just come out of nowhere and just be like, bam, cleanse? Because if not, this skill is not as good as, it'll come out to be.
I don't think that'll happen. Imbue weapons? Imbue weapons? Yeah. Casting this skill applies a buff that adds extra physical damage to your next 2 light attacks for 2 seconds. One morph turns into a magic skill that applies a random status burning or concussion or chilled. The other morph heals the caster for 15% of the damage done. So maybe it can be used for a healer or a damage dealer. Then we have Then we have Acceleration. This skill is an instant cast magic skill that grants you 3 seconds of major expedition and 12 seconds of minor force. Oh, okay. One morph reduces the cost of sprint by 15% for 12 seconds, while the other morph becomes a channeled skill, but triples the duration to 36 seconds.
That's a get out quick type of thing, another PvP skill. It's probably a PvP skill line, honestly.
Yeah. Unknown skill. Your light attacks now heal your group members. Your light attacks now heal... Okay, so he didn't remember the name of this one. And then Unknown passive. You gain a 10k shield while blocking. This slowly recharges after you drop block. Okay.
I don't see it being that good.
I don't see it. I gotta be honest with you guys.
No.
Yeah, nothing in that skill's blowing up at me.
Well, I think the 10k shield is good for literally like any other type of character. Like you're in a dungeon, like say Cradle of Shadows, and you stack your Hardened Ward or whatever shield you have. When like last time we tried to do the Know the Essence, same was struggling. With the what is that phase called? Which goes up in the air.
Yeah. When everyone has to stand still.
Yeah, the don't move phase. You just call it that. If you can block that, and then if you can block with that, and you can just stand there, you might be able to take and barely survive. I don't know if it might be 100% one shot depending on the damage it does on vet hard mode, but I know on like regular vet it should be fine.
Yeah. Now, guys, the last bit we have is snares. All snares and CC breaks have a duration that reflects the potency. Larger snares will now generally be much shorter, while smaller snares last longer. Okay. Just changing up snares. And guys, I think that is it. So overall, this is really interesting. My overall thoughts are the jewelry crafting enchants are really interesting. Light attack and heavy attack increase to damage is really cool. The two-handed weapons, again, that's just going to be something that really closes the gap between, like, it's really good for casual players and people who are trying to hit endgame but haven't got there yet. And then I think the Dragon Knight, the Sork, the Nightblade, the Templar, and the Warden all got some great buffs. So overall, really good. I said at the beginning of the video, guys, but be sure to go check out Alcast. This is his website. Link is down below for this link. He's absolutely awesome. Go subscribe to him and stuff. Thank you to Ongoing, guys, for coming here and giving a little perspective on what he thought. He's definitely more versed than I am. Be sure to tune into the stream, guys. We'll be talking about this, and if there's anything in this video you have a question about, you want to come into the stream and ask, or in comments, please do. But I will catch you guys next time.